Good evening. Welcome to the Concord Township Board of Trustees meeting for November 19th, 2025. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Mr. Patriarca, will you please call roll?
Mr. McIntosh.
Present.
Mr. Dondorfer.
Present.
Mrs. Lucci.
Present. Moving on to approval of minutes.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve the November 5th, 2025 Trustees Office Hours Meeting Minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair, move to approve November 5th, 2025 regular trustee meeting minutes.
And I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the November 17th, 2025 staff meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Moving on to elected officials reports. We will start with our fiscal officer, Mr. John Patriarca.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci. The fiscal office has been busy the last few weeks. We've been wrapping up the 2026 budgets with all our department heads. It's kind of crazy to think that 2026 is right around the corner, but we are here. So we were able to finalize service, rec, and zoning department budgets for the upcoming year. I'd like to thank the department heads and Administrator Rose for their assistance in scheduling, working through the budget. Obviously, with the county commissioners executing a new policy allowed by the ORC, we took a little bit of a hit in our budget based on the owner's occupancy credit and the homestead exemption being doubled. So we worked through the logistics of those revenue cuts, and we're able to stabilize our budgets for all of our departments, continuing to work with the fire department, Chief Sabo and Deputy Chief, and Mr. Rose and I will be meeting over the next couple of weeks to finalize our operating budget for 2026 for the fire department. But all things considered, things are going relatively well. We should be in good position for 2026. Last week, I was able to attend the Ohio CPIM annual conference down in Columbus. That's the Center for Public Investment Management conference. Really good session, met some great contacts down there. One specific session that was very informative was the bond financing and alternative fund financing options for infrastructure, economic development, and safety services capital projects, which we're going to hear in a few minutes why that has become extremely relevant to Concord Township, and some of the knowledge and tidbits that we picked up will hopefully be a great service to the residents. So I'll leave my remarks at that for the time being. I do want to wish all my colleagues and the residents of Concord a safe and happy Thanksgiving. With that, I conclude my report.
Thank you, Mr. Patriarca. Moving on to our trustees, Mr. McIntosh.
Hey, Madam Chair. Haven't been too, well, we'll talk in a minute, but been relatively quiet. Last week went to the Eastern Lake County Chamber, gave a State of the Township event, listened to State of the Community addresses from all the folks in the eastern end of Lake County. It was a great time. Lots of great things going on in Concord. We let everyone know about what's going on at UH, the Seidman Cancer, and all that going on there. How we've been able to shore up our safety services, police and fire, and it was a good deal. Andy and I are having a meeting that we've been trying to get for a while with ODOT. So that's going to be in 2 weeks. Going to go down and do that. The Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee met Monday night. I wasn't able to go due to a conflict, but I'm going to circle back with Katie over at MS Consultants and touch base with her. Continue to have dialogue about homestead exemption and everything Mr. Patriarch talked about, property tax repeal. Want to say thanks to our service department. Unfortunately, we had them out last week getting our roads cleared. So winter is upon us. But with that, and I just want to wish everyone else a happy Thanksgiving, and that's my report for now.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dondorfer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had the opportunity to attend the staff meeting on Monday. We had some great discussion with our department heads, talking about some recreation improvements for 2026, as well as the road improvement projects for next year. And John did a great job on our budget, so it was very informative, and we had some discussion on some zoning issues as well as some fire station issues. I spoke with a resident that had concerns regarding the maintenance of privacy fencing along Interstate 90 project where the rest areas are that back up to the Carriage Hills development. I know Andy has reached out to the project manager with an email to see if they're going to help re-erect that privacy fencing for those residents over there. And then I had a call from a new HOA member for a residential development in Concord regarding some questions they had on the green space. I know Heather addressed several events next month. We've got the tree lighting ceremony as well as the Wreaths Across America. Looking forward to that, so pay attention to our website. And I also would like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. It's a great time to be grateful for family, for good friends, and recognize the good we have in our lives. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Gondorfer. So as you both mentioned, we did have our staff meeting Monday, and you did kind of highlight some of the things we talked about, the budget planning and the winter events that are coming up. The Wreaths Across America is always a good one. That's on the 13th, so we look forward to that. I was out of town a little bit since our last meeting, so kind of a short report, but I am heading to OTA conference our OTA meeting on Friday, so I look forward to hearing from the other townships on any information for proposed property tax ideas, and maybe hear from other townships on other things that are affecting their township. So hopefully we'll have a good meeting for that. And with that, I also wish everyone a wonderful Thanksgiving, and couldn't be happier with our crew here, so thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to department reports. Mr. Rose, will you please discuss your administration department?
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci, members of the board, Mr. Patriarca, members of the audience, good evening. I'll start with items on the agenda. Item B is Resolution 2025 TAC 26, which approves entering into a medical billing agreement for EMS services provided by the township with the company MedAccount Management. Item C is Resolution 2025 TAC 27. This adopts a no-knock registry in conjunction with NOPEC. Once established, our residents can sign up through NOPEC's website to the no-knock registry, and then that registry is provided to anybody who pulls a solicitor's permit, and they're supposed to skip that house and not disturb that person. So it's a public service that NOPEC set up. Some of our neighboring communities have done it. It seems to be successful, so we're joining on to, there's no cost to the township. So I encourage passage of both those resolutions. I'm going to request items D and E be tabled for now, and then we'll look at those in a couple weeks after some discussions during office hours. So again, items D and E, I'm requesting to put on the table. And then moving on to other items, coffee with the administrator is tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the community center. Always a popular event, so we look forward to seeing folks there. And then I will move on to the big news. So, as everyone is aware, in early 2024, we submitted a community project funding package to help with construction costs for Fire Station 2 through Congressman Joyce's office. We knew it was a long shot, but we decided to submit it anyway, and we put in a request. The initial request that we put in was for $5 million. The agriculture bill for federal fiscal year 25, after it churned through appropriations, did include a $2 million allowance for our station, but as you know, that was none of the standalone bills were ever passed, and we lived through a continuing resolution through all of the past federal fiscal year. So then fast forwarding to the work for federal fiscal year 2026, we updated our package, resubmitted it, and we again requested the $5 million, and it survived the appropriations committee and came out of there at $2 million, and we were thrilled. We were cautiously optimistic, I guess would be the right word. But then once the government shutdown ended, the agriculture bill was baked into the reopening of the government. And when I got the final version of the bill last Friday, I noticed that it said $3.75 million. So I immediately contacted Congressman Joyce's office, both here locally and in Washington, D.C., and did confirm that we are receiving $3.75 million for the construction of Fire Station 2. This is a direct result of the great package that we as a township together put together. We had input from the fire department chief and deputy chief, myself, had fiscal numbers, trustees supported the package, and then lots of emails. We went to DC a day early. We met with Congressman Joyce's legislative staff, and I think that was the difference between the 2 million and the 3.75 was the polite pressure and work that everybody put into this. So I would like to thank Congressman Joyce for his support, and and at the risk of singling anybody out, I would like to thank Ashley Roberts, who's the legislative director in Congressman Joyce's office, and Katie Berger, who's the government affairs person here in Lake County. They're both on his staff, and they were extremely patient with me while I continually asked for updates and what else I could do to help. I probably sent them too many emails, but they shepherded this across the finish line, and I just couldn't be happier. So this is huge. And I'm excited because this covers more than half of the construction cost for Fire Station 2. So with that, we're already in contact with the local office of the USDA, and I've spoken with the gentleman who will be handling our project, and we've begun the initial discussions on the paperwork so that we know how the money's going to flow. So there'll be future updates on that as I get more word from the USDA, and I've tied John into this because it's all about money. So we'll work on that. So, and with that, I wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving, and I will remind everybody that December 5th is our tree lighting, which is a great annual event that we host, and that's rain or shine, snow, whatever the weather is, we hold the tree lighting. And I'll conclude my report, and I'll turn it back to the trustees. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
I look forward to hearing your response to that, Mr. McIntosh.
Well, okay, so as everybody here knows, there's one downside to this, and that's that I'm out of steak dinner. So
Yes, you are.
for those that are not part of the team here in Concord, when Andy told us he was applying for it, I said, good luck, and I am Scottish, so I do have that curmudgeon side of me, and said, good luck, I hope you get it, but I'm not holding my breath. And it's been 2 years, right?
2 years.
2 years, and I
2
kept
years.
thinking, and last fall I thought, well, I'm going to be in for it, and then we had all that turmoil, so, no, fantastic. I mean, we're talking about Thanksgiving, what a thing to be thankful for.
Yes.
I mean, this project has been something that we committed to do in 2020, and it went through a lot of challenges. The inflation hit us, and we got in a bad spot on where we were going to be. We didn't know how we were going to get the project done. Andy comes up with this idea to apply for money. You know, okay, hopefully we get it. If not, we've got a big problem to solve. And wow, now we've got more than half of it paid for. I got a little bit more to say, but I'll let you guys fire in there.
Yeah, when we decided to move forward with this fire station project, I mean, it was a monumental task. We're not building one station, but two. And we did recognize there were going to be a lot of challenges. Fire Station 1, confronted us with, a lot of different challenges, from, COVID. We were still dealing with COVID, the increase in cost for labor and materials. But we kept pushing forward. We were looking at 16 months for completion. It wound up being 24 months, but we got it done. We kept our foot to the grind and kept going, and it worked as a team together and got it done. And then we came to the realization, well, how are we going to get Station 2 done? When the costs were exceeded, with Station 1, and I got a great credit to Andy because, he did not leave any rock unturned looking for a revenue stream to try to fund this second project. And his tenacious ability to be diligent and committed, and he did a lot of work on this, and he deserves a lot of credit. I'm proud of this team. He applied for this federal assistance under the Ag Bill. The president signed it last week, and as a direct result of his dedication and persistent commitment, we're looking at $3.75 million and paying for almost over half a station too. And it's great for Concord. I'm proud of this team and very proud of him.
Yes, we've always been committed to safety and the welfare of not only our firefighters, of course, but our residents. And, the only way to take care of our residents is to make sure that our firefighters have the tools and the necessary things they need to do a good job. And so we were always committed to Fire Station 1 and Fire Station 2. And it seemed like such a windfall gift that this came upon us.
Right.
And you're exactly right. Andy saw a opportunity and thought, you know what, I'm going to slide in there and get the job done. It was, I know, a ton of paperwork, and I know John was a big help with that, and our chief. But your unwavering, polite persistence really makes a difference,
Thank you.
Andy. And
Thank
it's
you.
not just this project. You've done. I mean, this is how you operate, and this is just a great example of how you lead, and your commitment led towards this great success. So
Thank
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we all thank you.
I think to expand, I just want to say, the facilities, and we talk about all this, but Amy, you said it's safety of the firefighters, and people will say, well, the town, this is for everybody. I mean, I know we run across residents that say Station 1 looks great, but this is for them. This helps us get the best firefighters that we can hire. It gives them the best working conditions, best place to store their gear, gives them the best conditions. We have right now, as it sits, the most state-of-the-art, safest fire station in the county. We're the only fire station in the county that has a dedicated decontamination facility, and that's several thousand square feet. We're going to do that again in Station 2. So we will have the latest and greatest, safest environment for our firefighters to work in. And what does that mean? It means they do their job as best as they can.
Absolutely.
And I think in this environment of challenging, property taxes, we've been talking about that all year long, and resources and so forth, to come up with this and have it is, John, I think you've got to have a few things to say about is what this does for the project. I mean, we were just talking about what a benefit this is and how we can take on the rest of the debt we need to do this. It makes it so much easier, and we're in a great spot for this.
Yeah, I think that the project kind of took life my first day when I kind of walked in. Like, we got to get Station 2 done. This is a thing. This is our objective. We got to get it done. And I said, great, awesome. Dive into the numbers. We start kind of kicking around potential grant money, but we're not overly optimistic at the time. And so, you do what any nerd does, and you get the spreadsheet out, and you get the forecast going, and you start looking at budgeting, and you kind of run through multiple scenarios, from worst case scenario to best case scenario. Worst case scenario being no additional funding. Best case scenario at the time, from my perspective in planning and forecasting and budgeting, was okay, we can potentially get $2 million. That would be best case scenario. We'd be thrilled. We can make this work. All along, I think that, the three of you aren't taking a lot of credit, but this was a priority.
Yes.
But understanding that you three won't be in those seats forever, and whoever sits there next should not and will not inherit a disadvantaged situation where there's an overly burdened debt on the books to where there's just no flexibility. There's no way to serve the residents. And so while we knew that this was a priority and we were going to find a way, we knew that it couldn't be at the cost of future leadership and the residents of Concord Township. So, difficult situation, right? So we crunch the numbers, we're finding ways, we're getting very creative. Everything that we've done along the way, whether it was finding funding for a water line project or discussing RIDs, everything that this group has done for the past 24 months is kind of like, okay, this is another win, this is another win. You start stacking those wins, and the project becomes more and more viable. With the worst case scenario. Now we're in a position, because of the hard work, the dedication of Mr. Rose, Mr. McIntosh, the rest of us up here, it needs to be appreciated, the effort that went in, going to DC, meeting with Congressman Joyce's team. Ashley Roberts was fantastic. She was great. She was kind of our direct liaison. So, super thankful to their entire team. But I think it's just a testament to the persistent efforts and need. And you guys don't get a lot of credit. A lot of our residents, they want A, B, C, and D, and there's a lot of negative ask, but I think this is a situation and a moment where, I think the community should be and will be thankful of the leadership and the effort that the board and Administrator Rose has put forth. And so I am thankful. Makes my life a little bit easier. So now, we move forward. We look at forecasting and budgeting a little bit differently. And I think that we're just going to be in a very healthy position from a fiscal perspective. And then I think, obviously, people ask the question, is it necessary? And we were talking about it the other day in office hours, and I forget sometimes that station is, 64, 65 years old?
Right.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time. So I'm
beyond
just
time.
thankful, and I'm impressed by the work that this team did. Pretty much in the dark, because it wasn't something that we wanted to talk about a ton, because we were just unsure of how it was going to play out. And so we're definitely in that best case scenario bucket, and look forward to constructing a plan and a path forward that gets us that fire station in a timely fashion that makes sense for the community, makes sense for future leadership as well.
John, you mentioned that meeting in DC in the
Yeah.
spring, and we went a day early, Andy. I remember you said,
Yeah.
hey, we can meet with them, but we got to go a day early.
We got to go a day early, but we can meet with them one-on-one and
Right.
talk about how important this is. And you guys went. I mean,
We all went.
Great.
And I think, you always think about traveling as, that's the expense of an extra day at a hotel for all of us. And, we're already going, but it was a little bit of money. And I thought, well, we're there for another day. And it was the only thing that we did. But we've all talked since. And I think the pitch that we made, the conversation and dialogue we had with Ashley and her staff there about the project and everything, I remember her lighting up and saying, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow. And I know the local office, they came and toured it.
The local office brought the DC office here to tour some areas in the district, and we were one of those stops. And Ashley actually was here.
Yes.
So
I think Andy's persistence was right, but I think all of us telling the story and talking about firefighter safety, our community, that helped us get that extra 1.7. I think the time that we spent. So now when I think about the time that I spend, Concord dollars, I guess the extra night in DC was worth every penny that we did, because we got that chance to meet with them
Every dime.
and sell the project.
Yeah.
every
I
dime.
mean, it's huge. I think
Yeah.
our one of our top priorities has always been safety services. We all agree on that. And for this this project, I mean, to ensure the safety of our firefighters for years to come, so they can deliver the best service to our residents, that's huge.
Yeah.
And it's a proud moment for all of us in Concord Township. And again, Andy's been working this for almost 2 years from start to finish.
Yeah.
And his persistence and his ability to build relationships and have good dialogue and constructive conversation. And again, us going down and meeting with Joyce's office, I think contributed. And it's a proud moment for Concord, especially close to Thanksgiving. So thank you.
It's exciting. Thank you.
Well, I do want to thank Congressman Joyce, because he came to tour
Yep.
He did.
Fire Station 1. And I
he did.
think
He came
he
and talked
saw
to us.
firsthand, he understood the zones, and we explained all that. He saw firsthand how this new build impacted the firefighters' lives, and how that ultimately impacts our residents, like you said so nicely. So what a great gift. So we're very thankful.
Very.
Thank you again, Andy.
Yeah, great work.
All right,
Okay.
moving on to the audience portion. Seeing there is none, we will move on to old business. There is none there also. Moving on to new business.
Madam Chair, move to approve the October financial report.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-26, a resolution approving the client services agreement between MediCount Management Incorporated, and Concord Township for emergency medical services billing, and authorizing the chair of the Board of Trustees to execute the agreement on behalf of the township.
Will second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, move to approve Resolution 2025-27, resolution to enact the Do Not Knock registration program in coordination with NOPEC.
I will second the motion.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D will be tabled. Item E will also be tabled. Moving on to item F, future meetings and announcements. Mr. Patriarca.
November 27th and 28th, Town Hall will be closed for Thanksgiving. December 2nd, 7 p.m. zoning commissioning meeting here at Town Hall. December 3rd, from 5 to 6 p.m., trustee office hours in the conference room, followed by our trustee meeting at 6 p.m. in Town Hall. And I think I said November, but November 27th and 28th for Thanksgiving. I wasn't sure. Might have mixed that up.
you were right.
So,
I think you're good.
yes, Thanksgiving will be in November as scheduled.
All right.
Thank goodness.
Thank you so much. That concludes our meeting for this evening. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Good evening.
Good evening.